So my name's Manny. I'm here with Mal, the creator and designer of Valeur and Kill to Seek. So how you doing, Mal?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. All right, let's get it going. So the first question I want to ask is, what is your thought process as you create your garments?
I would say for the most part, every time I go to create some garments and stuff like that, really any project I've ever done, period, when it comes to art, is I really use my emotions. I really go through and peep what I'm going through at the time in my life, and I try to make it as raw and as original as possible and as much as I can, just because it's like, I feel like that's what really gives the most meaning to your art is, the true emotions and how you feel.
How did you come up with the name of your brand?
I was in the 8th grade when I really realized that, I want to start making clothes because I've been making art since I was a child, and I just always knew at the end of the day I was going to be a creator. I was going to be making something that was just a life for me. And so I was in 8th grade and I started, kind of really getting interested in it, but I was coming up with a whole bunch of bullshit ass names, because I was a kid. I remember one of the first names that I came up with was Tyrant or some bullshit, and I was like, fuck all that. And so I just kind of left it alone for a little bit because I wanted to get a little bit more serious about it. And then when I was in 9th grade, I started just sketching down just a whole bunch of different letters and putting them together and trying to see what looks cool together, And I ended up with an S and a V, and I started just drawing them, just SV together in a whole bunch of different fonts, just sketching them out and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, this is the one for sure. And I applied, what I thought really meant the most to me in life was to seek value, and so I named it Seek Valeur because my last name is French, and that's really where I got the Valeur from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So. Yeah, because I think it's really important that you seek value in your life, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
So, and that's my value, is creating art.
So regarding the S and V letters, are those two of your favorite, one of your two favorite letters in the alphabet?
Not necessarily. It was really just now it's my favorite letters in the alphabet. But at the time, I was really just drawing shit up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, third question for you. And this one's, it's a bit personal. So, do you ever doubt yourself while in the creative process of a garment?
I think everything is trial and error. I think that making clothes is an experiment. And it's almost like science, So, with me, I don't really think I ever doubt myself whenever I'm making a garment because, like I said, it's just trial and error.
Right.
It's art. You're expressing yourself. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't, That's why with me, I make it a very tedious process to make sure that, everything I do is, when I go to release it, it's up to par to what I want it to be,
of course.
So I scrap ideas. I bring ideas back, stuff like that. Even this, this was the sample. This was the sample for the fur jacket that I just dropped recently from Memento Mori.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone dies, and you will too. When you die, you won't feel sad you won't care about anything, you won't want anything. You won't be able to enjoy being dead though, because you won't be anything. Only dead. Only dead.
there's like mistakes in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mistakes all over this whole. You know, had to go back and refine it. I mean, I fucking put the zipper in the wrong place. So you know, I take mental notes of whatever I mess up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I go back and I like refine it and make it better. You know. So I mean, I wouldn't say I ever really. Oh shit! I wouldn't say I ever really like doubt myself. You know. So, like I said, it's really it's an experimental process. I mean, I'm forever gonna be an artist. You know, I'm like that's what my calling is to leave my mark on the world with my art. So,
How do you take heavy criticism?
it depends who it's coming from. You know, when it's like from my friends, I take it as constructive criticism, and when it comes from randoms, you know, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the outside world. You know, I mean, that's kind of how it is with, you know, even bigger artists. They, you know, you have people that say shit all the time.
Greatness.
You know, they sit here and like really listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I have a trusted group of people that, you know, I go and I talk to whenever I'm about to go drop something and see their opinions on stuff, you know, because we're like-minded. And then I have like a few people that are in my group that are like completely different, you know, and I'll go to them and see what they think about it, just, you know, to see, you know, a completely different point of view. You know, I like to see all angles of the situation. So, I mean, when it comes to criticism, it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you at all?
Nah, no.
Okay. Who's the number one person you look up to in the fashion world?
Damn, that's hard.
If there was one you could pick.
Shit. It's really hard because I mean, when it comes to my own fashion, like my clothes and stuff like that, and what I make, I try not to look at other artists for inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, when it comes to like just me liking like other brands and stuff like that, and like who I look up to in that sense, you know, I would say, you know, like Margiela, and I really like CDG. You know, they've made beautiful collections, etc. But I would say the one that really like piqued my interest when I first started getting into fashion, I was watching plethora of fashion shows and stuff like that, was Alexander McQueen, because I was watching his shows and stuff like that, and how detailed and how the setting would be and how involved he got in the creative process of the whole entire fashion show, you know? And that's what really showed me that you can express yourself in fashion in every way imaginable, with the music you play in the background, with the setting of the show, with, you know, just everything. You know, it made me fall in love with it. So, yeah, I would say Alexander McQueen, when he was still alive and he was still running his own brand, that was a real big inspiration for me.
Of course. Rest in peace, Alexander McQueen.
Rest in peace, for real. I got his jeans on right now.
So, if there was one brand you could collaborate with, which one would it be? And it could be any brand at all.
Damn, even that's hard. There's just so many. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely just so many. I would definitely say, of course, like, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I guess obvious or whatever, but, you know, I mean, Margiela, for sure. I mean, who wouldn't want to collaborate with Margiela? Who wouldn't want to collaborate with CDG? You know what I'm saying? Or like Rick Owens, you know, who wouldn't want to collaborate with them? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, even then, I feel like I'm just not at the point in my life to where I should even consider that yet. Just because it's like, I really want to focus on my stuff, you know, and I want to make my brand just as unique as possible, and, you know, really just refine as much as I can before I even think about having a collaboration. Because, you know, I'm not really into collaborations right now. I haven't been. I've had so many opportunities to collaborate with people, and it's just like, I really feel like I got to focus on it myself first.
And do you plan to host, you know, any type of fashion show soon? It could be 1-2 years.
Hell yeah. I've had like one fashion show in the past, but I mean, honestly, I look back at it and I fucking hate it so much. Yeah, like I fucking hate it so much because it just wasn't exactly it wasn't anywhere near exactly what I wanted, you know? And I wasn't prepared enough, and I didn't go through with everything that I fully wanted to go through with. It wasn't organized enough, you know what I'm saying? It was probably like 6 looks. That's not a fashion show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's some bullshit. And like, it just wasn't the setting that I wanted. I didn't get to like really put everything into perspective. I didn't have a theme, you know. I didn't have a story to tell, you know, at the time. And like I said, it was just because I wasn't prepared enough. And I mean, now my biggest goal is to actually drop my first fluid body of work.
Okay.
So I'm really aiming to drop a fall collection this year.
Okay.
And have a runway show for it and have like at least 20 looks. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like I said, it takes an extreme amount of work. But I've been really wanting, like, I'm dedicated to it. And so, like I said, I really want to get one full fluid body of workout this year. And so, I mean, like I said, that's what people should be expecting for sure. Is my fall 2024 collection this year.
Where do you see yourself and your brand 5 years from now?
In 5 years from now, I hope to be in like Fashion Week. I mean, I hope to be in Paris or Milan or London or New York, you know, on a runway, getting like, and it's not even really about, I guess it is about the recognition, but at the end of the day, the biggest thing for me is making an impact on the world with my art. And so that's the biggest thing for me is I want to gain a bigger audience that, you know, I'm showing my art to, you know, and expressing myself to. And so in 5 years from now, I hope that I will be for sure. I'm going to be in a completely different area, New York, out of the country. Like I said, London, Milan, Paris, really any of those places, and full-fledged only doing clothing, only working on clothes and my own visual art. You know what I'm saying? That's always been my goal, and that's where I will be for sure in 5 years. I'll be in a completely different space, in a completely better space.
If there was one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be and why?
Procrastination, for sure. I think that's my biggest problem, but as of now, like as of recently, you know, my biggest thing has been that I have to, you know, just say, there's never time to just chill. There's never time to be lazy. There's always something to do. There's always something to work on. I don't have the time to just kick it, you know. I don't have the time to just bullshit around, you know. And so I would say, as of right now, I've definitely been on my shit more than I ever have been as far as, like, determination goes.
Right.
And, yeah, like I said, if I could change anything, it'd be my procrastination and, you know, just kind of bullshitting, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm kind of getting over that now, you know, so.
If your brand grew an enormous amount, up there with the likes of Balenciaga, YSL, or Dior, how would you like to transform or influence the fashion scene in general?
I think innovation is, you know, I think innovation is one of the most important things when it comes to anything, change, etc., you know? And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say that I would want to change necessarily anything for any other, like, brand or just, like, the scene in general. But I know for me, especially, my biggest goal is to always remain true to my art and be as original and authentic that I can be. And so, you know, I would say, if anything, I think trends are important, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. But I think that it'd be a lot, you know, cooler if, you know, people didn't care as much about trends, you know, and were truly themselves in the fullest, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, when somebody sets a trend in the fashion world, next thing you know, you see all these other brands kind of follow behind them and drop their own version of it. And it's all just a money ploy and a money scheme, you know? And I mean, I get it. You know, you have to get money when it comes to fashion. It takes money to make money, especially in the fashion world. So, I mean, like I said, trends are very important, and I understand that. But, you know, with me, I think that, you know, I'm always going to try to deter from that and really, like, instead of following trends, set trends, you know?
Okay.
So.
What pushed you to become who you are today?
How I grew up, for sure. You know, I grew up in a creative household. I grew up kind of like on some struggle shit, you know. And so since, you know, I kind of grew up, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I had it the worst, but I definitely didn't have the best. And so growing up, you know, a lack of resources is kind of what brought the creativity out of me, because I'd make something out of nothing, you know. And just the influence from my mother and, like, you know, what all she introduced me to as far as music, you know, and everything like that. That's definitely what made me the person I am today. Definitely my mom and the environment that I grew up in, with her being a creative person as well. So yeah, that's for sure 100% what made me the man that I am today in the creative sense.
Just let that plane fly past first as it interrupts our interview. All right, I guess it's gone. Would you say your friends and your social group push you to become someone better? Do they encourage you? Do they, you know, give you the correct amount of criticism?
Definitely. I mean, my friends have been there for me through hell and high water. I'm talking about, you know, they've been here through every step of the way when it comes to making my brand. They've sat here and seen the ups, the downs. They've tried to give me as much constructive criticism as possible. They'll sit here and help me on projects. They give me the motivation that I need to get, like, to get up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, when I'm feeling down, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, I could definitely do something alone, but I wouldn't be near as strong if, you know, I didn't have my friends around. Speaking of them, hey, get on, come over here. Get all of them to come over here. Jaden. He's helped me with projects. We print shirts together when I was in fucking high school. You know what I'm saying?
Print out the garage.
Print out the garage, out of our fucking first job. You know what I'm saying? He sat here and helped me with so much shit when it comes to, you know, constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my fucking models. They're all three of them are one of my fucking models. You know, I use all of them. So, you know, they're very important aspects to my brand, because this is my team, you know.
Yeah. We
all support each other in everything that we want to do, you know, and that's our whole goal, is to be successful. And you know, I love them to death. Like I said, we've been through hell and high water together, and I mean, I couldn't do it without them. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. For sure.
Okay. What's your name?
Fago.
What's your name?
What you doing? On a blunt. I'm watching greatness. You know what I'm saying? Jaden.
What's your name?
Shit, my name Flexico.
Well, thank you very much for this interview. It was a great honor having a word with you, man.
Thank you for being
Of course. And one last question. What's your favorite brand of cigarettes?
Shit.
Is it the Camels?
Y'all gonna hate me for this. I fuck with Camels, but Marlboro Reds, you know, both of them. That's my shit for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here.
For sure.
Again,
you, man.
What's your name?
Malachi. KTSV Man. That's my Instagram. Seek Valeur is the brand account.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Now that the show is over and we have jointly exercised our constitutional rights, we would like to leave you with one very important thought. Sometime in the future, you may have the opportunity to serve as a juror in a censorship case or a so-called obscenity case. It would be wise to remember that the same people who would stop you from listening to Boards of Canada may be back next year